Frazer. Okay, there we go. Stream is live. Well, what's up, y'all? John Melton coming to you live with another episode of Money Monday. In fact, let me know if you're in the comments watching the replay, what time you're watching it, where you're coming in from, and if you know the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Frazer Brookes. It's always, you always the camera. Yeah. Anyway, he's over there, I believe. Yes, he's over there. Anyway, Frazer Brookes in the house. Listen, guys, if you want to go from average to savage in your business, you should be watching Money Monday every single Monday, Money Monday with amazing guests like Frazer Brookes. And for those of you that are like living under a rock, I'm going to tell you, Frazer is one of those guys that walks the walk, talks the talk. He brings value every single time I have him on the show, which I think this is probably like the 4th or 5th time I've had him on over the years. And it's amazing because, for those of you that don't know, he's retired, not with a company, but he speaks on stages for companies all over the world. He's got a massive following all throughout the network marketing profession in countries that I would imagine he's never been to, right, Frazer? He's been on stages all over the world, all different continents. And it's amazing because, it's one thing for people to, build a network marketing business, but it's a whole other thing for them to teach. And he teaches old school, but he also teaches social media. And how many of us want to up our social media game? In fact, it's one of my favorite topics of conversation because I think a lot of us struggle with our warm market. Maybe we struggle with recruiting. Maybe we struggle with leads, customer acquisition. Maybe we struggle with what to post, videos, reels. There's so much training out there. Anybody else ever feel like they have the curse of knowledge? The curse of knowledge where you know so much. You get that information constipation. So what I love about Frazer, he does a really good job. Yes, I know it's gross, us Americans, but he does a really good job of simplifying how to show up on social media, how to offer value. He's got all these little cool acronyms and whatnot. So if you love Frazer, let him know in the comments. By the way, if you're hopping on live, smash that heart button, tag some teammates. Of course, as usual, every Money Monday, we have a generic conversation. What does that mean? We're not talking company specifics. This is for any company, any marketer, anybody trying to sell and market themselves, trying to generate leads, sales, or build a business leveraging social media. So, Frazer, I'm so excited. I know you also have this free challenge coming up. How many of us would love to make $1,000 in our home business, which is kind of funny because I actually did a post the other day, had nothing to do with your challenge. And I said, who would like to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? And the post blew up. So people probably think it has to do with this training, but but I'm excited. I love that you're doing this challenge because I think a lot of people have either struggled with earning a check with a comma.
That's right.
Like they've never earned it, or maybe they've earned it in the past, but it's time for a rebuild, a relaunch. And I think we can agree that once you start making checks with commas, how many of us would agree with this? When you start getting checks with commas, all of a sudden you find time to build your business. All of a sudden your business becomes a priority. So Frazer, excited to have you on. Had to do an awesome introduction for you because you're one of the best. And I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate you always being available to help elevate the profession. It's probably pretty late where you are. Are you in Dubai? Are you in France? Yeah, where are you, by the way? I don't even know where you are.
Network marketing is weird. Network marketing, you don't do 9 till 5. You do 9 till 2 a.m. And also, network marketing relationships are like dog years. For every 1 year you know someone, you've basically known them for 7 years. So you and Nadia are what, 22 years, something like that? You've been around.
Yeah, bro. We just celebrated 22 years. Yep.
22. You guys have a 154-year relationship.
Yep. I like that.
That's wild. That's network marketing.
Did you see the screenshot of my first sign-in sheet?
Yes.
And people are like, how do you have that? I'm like,
yeah, I was curious.
I just do. I don't have this. I don't have the sign-in sheet anymore, but I have the screenshots saved.
That's classic. That, you know what though? That's long-term thinking. You knew that moment would come when you would need that piece of paper. Yeah. So fair play. Yeah. Fair play. I'm excited to be here, man. I'm really excited. And it's funny you mentioned the comma. Obviously, I've asked 10 people to share what they would do. And about 5 or 6 of them, you included, have sent their videos in. The amount of synergy, but synchronicity, are the number of messages that are being shared that are the same. be obsessed and have a system, have a plan, know the numbers. It's incredible. You would think there's like lots of different ways, but everyone's just like, bam, like same stuff. Which is amazing. I'm super excited about it because people are going to have a lot of bingos from it. That's for sure.
For those of you that would want details on the $1,000 challenge, just drop 1,000 in the comments, and my team will get back to you ASAP with the deets. But I'm excited because we're going to talk social media mistakes first. But I'm telling you, this. It all boils down to what to do, income producing activities, what to do to make money, so you can teach others what to do to make money. Duplication is real. It's the best. But it takes a hot second to get the hang of it. So let's talk about what to do on social media, or really what not to do. Let's talk about some of the mistakes that you see coaching network marketing leaders all over the world. What are some of the mistakes that you see consistently?
Well, I'll start. I'll begin with, there is a lot of noise out there from marketers who are in the network marketing space who are saying things to hook you in. That aren't necessarily true. They're true to hook you in, but they're not true to build a big business. And I remember when I got started in the generic space, a friend of mine, I was working with him at the time, Vincenzo, he was really big on like messaging and like knowing the right message, right audience, but also like running ads. And he said, we need a hook. What are some things that are kind of controversial and might upset people, but are true? And I said, old school is dead. And I upset a lot of people by saying that. So I've been the marketer who says things that is not necessarily true, because the old school stuff works, right? We just put the fun into the fundamentals. The old school is the fundamentals. But there's a lot of people who are just in the network marketing space as a marketer, and it's wrong. But what I will say is, if you only do attraction marketing, you're making a big mistake. Right? A lot of people think that they just do attraction marketing and not do the action marketing. I can't do cold messaging. Your mum or your dad approached one or the other and cold messaged them. It might have been in person, but at some point they were cold contact and they gave them a message, right? So everything magical comes from when two strangers meet. So I'm a big fan of doing the action and the attraction. I have this kind of graph. It's very difficult for me to show it with my hands, but in the beginning, you do a lot of action. A lot. And eventually it just deteriorates over time. You don't do the 10 a day or 20 a day. Your list is exhausted. You have to learn lead generation and you get burnt out. Unless you are someone who is making the multiple, like 100K a month and beyond. You guys, you included, John, because you're beast mode. You guys just are obsessed with recruiting because you're certain that what you're doing is the best thing ever. So your action deteriorates, but the attraction marketing, it takes a long time to hit a point and then hockey sticks up, and you're looking for the point of where it crosses over. So it's important that attraction marketing is going to work, but you're playing the waiting game for a while, and no one likes waiting. I know you guys watching this don't like waiting as well. So it's do the action, do the attraction, and eventually you might not need to take the action as much because the attraction is just banging, but it takes some time. So I think that was biggest mistake number one.
It is interesting, though, because what happens too, and I know you've seen this, where a leader becomes a little bit of an influencer. They get pretty good at the attraction marketing. They'll say, I don't have to reach out to anybody. And it's like, the problem with you saying that is it makes it sound like that's how it's supposed to be done. And second thing, I had this conversation. We just did a big team retreat with some of our top producers. And I don't want to send out cold messages. And I'm like, what's your definition of a cold message? And to them, that's what it is. It's messaging people that haven't requested information. And what I have found, and I know you know this, is that some of the best responses are people that never requested information, but because I'm a human first and a marketer second, and I'm a friend collector, and I'm wanting to connect with people, all the things that I know you teach as well, it's not duplicatable to tell people, oh, you don't need to prospect anybody. I don't prospect it. I don't have to reach out to anybody. I don't have to ask anybody because I have people coming to me, and it's like, awesome. But if you're telling your teammates that, they're going to get discouraged real quick when they do a post and they get the tumbleweeds. You know that the UK
I get it. Yeah, and it's fun because as well, like if you are COVID baby till now, you won't really know of like you probably haven't been told, right, go and get a list of paper, a piece of paper, write your names and contacts. And to be honest, even if you joined maybe 2012 till now, the last 10 years or so, you probably haven't done like the who do you know list and you just gone, oh, just go on your Facebook list. But going back before that, attraction marketing was wearing a badge and walking down the streets. Like, I've lost weight, ask me how. Like, that was what attraction marketing was. And until then, it was like, right, where do my friends hang out? Or where did my ideal customers hang out? Okay, well, I want to help people lose weight, for example. They're probably in the soda aisle, the sweets aisle, the crisps or the chips aisle of the supermarket. I'm just going to go hang out there and educate. So it's different now, though, because again, you can, I mean, you guys teach this really well. You can start, make a curiosity post or make a declaration post or go live or share your like the why have you joined, the what have you done, the wow, like these results are crazy. You don't even have to speak into your friends and you can make sales, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't still go through that, because the money's not necessarily in the list, but the money is in the skill that you create from going through the list, the rejection, the thick skin, the stickability. So that's definitely number one for sure.
Yeah, I love that. What would you say number two is? What do you see people doing that is just a consistent mistake? Obviously, we talk consistency and patience, like some of that stuff, but I'd like to know, because obviously, again, you've seen the evolution of social media. What are some of those other really big mistakes that you see often?
And I don't want to scare anyone. I don't want anyone to be like, oh God, that's what I do. And if it's working, keep doing it. Right. But if it isn't working and you hear us say it, then I want you to kind of go, oh, okay. Because sometimes a bingo moment of what you're doing is like, yes, I'm doing the right thing. But then sometimes it's like, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing, can be even more powerful. This is a weird one, but this is data backed. This is like, we track all this. It's now easier, significantly easier to get new customers on social media than it is team members. So it's not necessarily a big mistake, but focus on getting a ridiculous number of customers to begin with, and then look to upgrade. I know you talk about this a lot. Upgrade those customers with a simple question or series of questions, because we've kind of got into a situation now where it's 5.7 times easier to get a customer than it is a team member. Now, some people then go, yeah, but I get paid way more than 5.7 times to get a new team member than a customer. However, it's not just about the commission. It's about how many fist pumps. How many, you guys in America say let's go a lot, right? Let's go, or like vamos. Like, how many fist pumps, how many let's goes can you get in a day? Because the more you get in a day, the longer you're going to stay around. Or the longer you stay around, the more chance you've got at becoming the person you need to become to attract the people who you need to have. So again, it's not like a big mistake, but it's, don't be afraid to go and get 5, 10, 20, 30, 50 customers. I've got a friend of mine, I work very closely with him. He's based in Jordan. And he had someone on his team get over 2,500 new customers last month, September. 2.5, like, and this is not like a free product. This is like
it's a recession, Frazer.
Right? And it's crazy doing it through Snapchat. I thought Snapchat was dead.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, I need to hear about. I need to hear about this. What's that?
Yeah.
Stories, reels. Like I call them something else.
Yeah, but there's another person doing like 1,700 a month, like through TikTok videos, right? Just does the same videos all the time, just changes the hook, and like they bang and then they crush, and then all the back end stuff is crushing it. But these guys,
that's insane. I haven't heard Snapchat in a while, so that's funny. Wow.
Yeah, man, I'll get the step by step and send it to you, because I didn't even know Snapchat was still a thing. I thought it.
Is it short form videos though? It's got to be.
Yeah, short form, but mainly to hook them into a longer explanation about how you can make money online. They've got a whole.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, and it's crushing. But yeah, no, I think don't be afraid to become an incredible customer acquisitioner. And if you are someone who's like, but our company doesn't reward getting customers, they do reward you getting customers in some way. It might not look like it in the pay plan, but they do. Most companies, if not all companies, do. Yeah. So that's what I would. Big mistake is focusing on just getting team members and not the customers.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because in our organization, I know you know this, but we crush with customers. We got almost 5,000 new customers last month, but only 338 new social marketers, distributors, right?
What?
So we get a lot more customers by far. and it's easier to duplicate getting customers. But a mistake that we see is sometimes people don't even mention the opportunity because number one, they get really good at getting customers and they like don't want to mess it up. They don't want to freak people out. But number two, I think a lot of people, and this is just more of a social media mistake, is people become a little popular on social media and they're like, I don't want to turn off my audience. Right. It's funny how that mindset, it's like, are you a secret agent? Like, do you get paid to keep it secret? Probably not. You probably get paid to perform, but it is, that does happen sometimes to people. They get really popular on social and they're getting this following, they're getting this like acknowledgement, this validation they never had. And it's like, you're still going to promote your products, right? Or you're still going to like offer a business. Because if you don't offer anything, they're not going to like just be like 6 cents, like, oh, I just realized you have an opportunity to share. I just read your mind. It doesn't work like that. Anyway.
Well, you know what? It actually, I'll come back to that in a second, but it kind of does add to another big mistake is that why are you actually building your brand? A lot of people are building their brand because they want to be an influencer, but you're being an influencer to them what? Influence people to join your business or become an influencer because you don't really want to do your business and you want to be an influencer who sells 10% discount codes on hotels.com or booking.com. So a lot of people get obsessed with becoming an influencer when in reality, you don't really need to be in order to make a lot of money. I think I think as well, added on to what you're sharing there, a lot, 100%, when people get so obsessed, especially when they're getting a lot of customers, but if they're not upgrading it, a very simple one for everyone tuning in is asking a question that you win either way. So on a scale of what, hey, I'm going to ask John, for example, hey, John, love that you reordered last month. Super cool. This only works if you are actually good at giving customer service or you have a team that's set up on the back end to do this, whatever. Companies do a great job as well with product service as well. So, hey, John, on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable would you be sharing your product experience, not product success or testimonial, your product experience with other people? 1 being, wouldn't want to tell anyone. 10 being, I'll tell the world. If John turns around and says anywhere from 1 till 6, I'm going to do what I have to do to up my game. I'm going to provide more guides, more value. Like I'm going to reach out a bit more to see like, hey, have you seen this story? Blah, 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 blah. To really make sure that he knows that I'm not Walmart, I'm not Target, I'm not Amazon. I am giving additional value to make it a good experience. If he says 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm going to go, that's awesome. Would you be open to seeing how you could monetize sharing that experience? No. Okay, referral post. Like you don't want to know how to make it. Could you make a post for me? It would help me out. They say yes. Like they say yes to like I want to know more. Then you've got someone in front of the presentation. So it's a great way. Again, product, customer. Be a beast, and then upgrade. But if you're scared to ask the upgrade question, then the question is, how certain are you that the business is actually a good thing to do? Because I'd say you're probably not that certain. So yeah, it's having that back end in place, isn't it?
A lot of people do struggle with that, though, like the confidence conversation, the belief conversation. What do you teach people that you coach on how to build up confidence, build up belief?
So confidence comes from experience. Experience comes from action. Action comes from belief. I think, though, there's a big difference and something that doesn't get talked about in network marketing is that belief is level 1, certainty is level 2. Like I know that you believe in the industry, but you are certain that what you're doing is the best thing. And it's crazy because everyone who's at John's level, there's not many people at John's level, John and Nadia's level in the network marketing space, right? There's a lot of people crushing it, but these guys are top echelon. There's a good one for you, right? They're top echelon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a good one. So they're top echelon. So there's belief, but then there's certainty. So someone who believes it's good is like, oh, I think this is a good thing. If it works out, it's going to be great. I'm going to give it a try. Like I believe it's good for us. Certain is when I have the success because I know it's coming, I'm going to triumph. They just use different words and it's a different energy. So it's mainly doing whatever you got to do to get that certainty, attending of the classics, attending the event, speaking to mentors, getting around the right people, environment beats will, blah, 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 blah. And it's key. And a lot of people, their confidence, their belief came from the results that they got during COVID because they couldn't get to the events. And now it's becoming a problem because people aren't going to events and therefore, right, you know it. right? People aren't going to events, and then they're not being as confident, and they're wondering, oh, why it's not like it used to be. Yeah, because you were pinning your belief on the results instead of pinning your belief on the fact that it's an actual business that you need to be building and going hard on. It's not just it's not a lucky shot. You gotta work at it. So it's a great shift that we're going. I freaking love what's happening with the industry right now, because it's weeding out all the weak, and we're going to get left with a great core group of people to then go take the next wave. So fired up, man. You can probably tell.
Yeah, and it's just it's a huge opportunity, right? It's a huge opportunity for the people that pivot, the people that evolve, the people that reinvent themselves. And I've got some people, like we did the big team retreat this weekend, and there was a woman there. I love telling her story because she'd been crushing it for so long with promoting her collagen product. Her before and afters are insane. She just has a lot of confidence. She knows how to speak about that product specifically. And, we were one of the first companies. In fact, I think we were the first company, at least in network marketing, to really hit it hard with collagen. Like, I didn't even know what collagen was until we launched it. And
yeah, right.
I thought it was like a protein thing. Now it's like every company has it, which is so funny. Right. And she got so good at telling her story, promoting, and she consistently crushed it until it stopped. It really came to a halt about a year ago. And she started testing out different conversations, and literally she tapped into just this one new thing. And I don't want to share the thing because I've shared it before, and it's kind of like people think that, oh, I got to do that thing. And it's like, it's not about that thing that she did per se. You have to figure out your own thing. For her, it worked. And she literally, because she was at the team retreat, she went from 3,000 Instagram followers to over 100,000 in a matter of months. Woo! And she's showing me her inbox. She did one collagen post recently. And again, because she built up what you talked about earlier, the know, like, trust, right, and has this brand new massive audience, massive. And TikTok used to be her platform. Obviously now it's IG. She tapped into this demographic, this whole new network of people. And she's got to have ManyChat now, multiple VAs. She cannot keep up with the amount of people that are commenting for more information. And it's just amazing how when you make a decision, a scary decision to pivot, to, reinvent yourself. But on the other side of that, it's like, holy, you know what, right? Yeah. We'll keep it PG. Holy moly. Well, look at the results. And it's like, and I'm literally looking at her phone. She's showing me because we're together in person. I'm like, it's just insane. And then of course I'm like, now imagine if you did exactly what you talked about, right? Where you connect with some of these customers that are having a good experience, because their conversions are still not great. Let's be clear. It's complete strangers. So I asked her, what's your conversion? She said about 10%. But when you have thousands of people, 10% is still a ton of customers. Really? And I'm like, imagine if you could then get the percentage of people that order, that are loving the product, to then, like you said, do a referral post. Or better yet, take a look at the opportunity, maybe just once a month. All those customers, just once a month, you invite them onto a private Zoom to take a look at how they could monetize this collagen conversation, or how they could, create an additional income stream. And so many of those people would join your team if they knew there was an opportunity. But it starts with getting them in the door, right? Expose, involve, upgrade. Anyway, I love that you talked about this. I get so excited because this really is the big reason you and me, we both were early adapters of social media, because we realized that old school way of doing things, make a list, hit up your friends and family. It's not to say you shouldn't, but it sucks to say that's the only option. If you don't have a good warm market, you're screwed. That's how it was pre-2012.
Yeah, all my warm market had seen me vomit on my own shoes in nightclubs. Some of my warm list had carried me home and tucked me into bed. When I'm calling them saying I've got a business, but as soon as I got on social media, it was like, ooh, no one knows me on here. I can be who I want. And it's an amazing space. That is an incredible story. And I know there's a lot of people watching who are like, oh, that's a nice problem to have. She hustled her ass off to be able to do that. It wasn't just like, right? It wasn't just like
Frazer, literally while we're in the event the first night, she's like, I love this, but I'm like tweaking because I just want to go do some videos, go do my follow-ups. she's become a machine when it comes to that consistently. She's got these habits in place. She's doing the same thing over and over again, and it's working. So yeah, you nailed it. Like, she worked her face off to get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's funny as well. I had a mentor. I was probably 14 or 15. One of the first things that really I heard and I didn't understand until I was older. And he said, for every 7 years of abundance, you'll have 7 years you'll have like 7 years of scarcity, unless you reinvent yourself or you pivot. And it's so interesting when you study our profession. There's a lot of people, if you get people in the room and say, hey, who's been here less than 3 years? There, a lot of people, a big percentage will put their hand up. If you say who's been here more than 3 years, is a very small percentage. But the 7-year itch, they say about it in relationships as well, the 7-year itch in network marketing, my God, you don't come across people in a room who I've been involved for 10 years. It's like either before 3 years or like, I've been in for 10 or 15 or 25, 22. It's a really weird time, like that 7 years. And it comes back to what he said, is like, you have to reinvent yourself now. So for people who have joined in COVID or before COVID, you're not far off having to do something a little bit different. And this is why I know you're a part of a lot of masterminds. You do your own retreats, you go to other retreats. It's so key. And it's so obvious. We know it, but a lot of people don't realize why. Yeah. So it's just important to just keep growing and find.
Can I ask you this? I want to ask you, because again, you have so much expertise with the social media stuff, and then you're also one of the few network marketing social media like advocates. Do you like this idea? Because I know some people struggle with, like, do I lead with product or do I lead with business? And then if they build a following leading with product, and they're like, I don't know how to talk about the business, because it's like, so what I have suggested, and now I don't have this like proven necessarily, because it's a newer conversation, it's a newer question, or at least it feels different the way it is now. Anyway, that's a whole other topic of conversation. So do you like this idea? I've suggested this to some people, and some people are starting to do it, and they're so far so good. But do you like the idea of like, hey, this platform, I'm going to really just do the same stuff I've been doing, the family posts, product stuff, business stuff, like Facebook as an example. Maybe you just keep doing what you've always done, but then like TikTok, just product. Maybe your Facebook, it's like business. 100%. Do you like that idea? Have you seen people kind of use different platforms for different conversations, different brands?
Absolutely. So two things. The first one, we did a massive study on this about 9 months ago on so Facebook is the best platform in network marketing to recruit someone. Best platform. It's the most connected. Like, you add people as a friend. Like, it's just more connected. It's just easy to get in touch. Bang, voice notes, easy. Instagram is the best platform for building a brand, right? People are on there. They want to get the followers. They want to get the thousands of reels. TikTok is the best platform for getting customers now. And YouTube is the best platform to get automated sales, right? But it's it's by far the best one. You think about it, it's just YouTube.
We don't promote YouTube a lot because it's like complicated, but
I know it's not. Yeah, for the right people, for someone who's got it, who's gone through the 14-day live challenge that you guys are, 30 days when I actually first, I think, heard about you guys with the live video, and then 14 days I know is what you teach your team, right? When you're good on video, and it's obvious that you're good on video because people stay around and they comment and stuff, then you've got to be on YouTube, man. And Julie and your team is a beast at teaching that. So you guys go. Yeah, she's incredible. Julie Reynolds, you guys go find her, and she's really good at that. The second thing is, here's my theory and process, and this is what we've talked to a few people who have ended up now crushing it in their organizations. One guy's gone from 20,000 volume to last month 600,000 volume. So talk about the product, build a following around that. But when you build a following, think about it. How many people would actually want to be your friend? Like, meet up with you in person or be on a Zoom call with you. So then it's not, I'm going to pitch it on the story.
They actually look up to you, unlike your annoying friends and family. Yes.
Right. They're like, oh, I love this guy. Instead of like, oh, him, like, oh, don't invite him to the Christmas do. So imagine that you put a post on your story saying, I want to get to know you guys more. Like, I'm going to do a Zoom call. I'm going to do a community Zoom call at 9 p.m. tonight. We're not going to Amway them with the flip chart and be like, ha, surprise, I got you. Right. We're not going to do that. but we're going to talk about like the journey. This is how I just want to share with you some like nuggets. This is how you can make money. So, and you suggest, not prescribe. Doctors prescribe, and we trust doctors, so we listen to what their advice is. When you suggest, you actually go, right, first way of making money. You can build a social media presence, and you can get brand deals to pay you by giving you a voucher to promote. That's number one. Number two is you can become an affiliate marketer when you can go onto different websites like this, or Amazon, and you can sell books or whatever you can sell products that relate to what you're talking about. The third one is what I love the most is network marketing. Network marketing, I know you might think it's a pyramid thing, blah, 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 but it allows me to have this, and this is how I'm able to monetize this. And do any of you guys get turned off by the content you see? They're like, no, we love the content. There you go.
One of my favorite lines is, this is like affiliate marketing on steroids.
Oh, nice. Real good.
Because you don't get paid residuals when you're an affiliate marketer. And that's the biggest problem, right? It's like, yeah, I sold your book. I sold your, whatever, fill in the blank product, and I got paid. Thanks. But that's it. You don't get the repeat. You don't get the leverage. So I like how you basically are comparing it to like some different ways to monetize. But then there's this third way. And I'm just saying, you don't have to necessarily do the team building thing. You don't necessarily have to do the thing but if you just were to promote the products, it's like affiliate marketing on steroids. So I really like that a lot, because you're basically saying, here's the different things you can do to monetize your social media. And it does kind of make things seem like duh, like no brainer. Why wouldn't I get involved in something that pays residuals? Like, it just makes more sense than one-time commissions. I mean, I think that makes sense to get paid in my sleep. Twist my arm.
You know what? It makes, right. And it's kind of obvious as well that when you're leveraging your influence to get people on a call, you share your story, answer different questions, you give a presentation in story form. You mentioned it in the training that you sent to me. I was watching it this morning, which was amazing, by the way. And I forget, I need to go through my notes, but you said that there was a big turning point in your business when, instead of you telling the business, you were telling your story, but you said it in such a more amazing way than what I just shared. But you weren't like pitching the business or someone. You were just sharing like why. Oh, that was it. You were sharing like why you're doing the bit, like why you're doing the business, and it made such a big difference. Can you just give like expand on what I just shared there? Because I know it'd be valuable for a lot of people watching, because I think that's a big mistake as well, that people are trying to pitch the business. Instead of
they're selling the business, pitching the comp plan, the business itself. And once you realize that it's more about relatability, it's storytelling, which is a lot like social media posts, right? It's like, let me tell my story because I'll be more relatable. I like the 3 E's, right? You want to empower, you want to entertain, or educate, right? That's like as old school as it gets when it comes to posting value on social media. But what's next level is to share content that's relatable and shareable. And the way that it's going to be relatable and shareable is storytelling, right? Like, incorporate your personal experience, your story. And what I realized years ago is I used to try to pitch the business, and I got rejected a lot, right? Talking about the thick skin earlier. I got a lot of thick skin from that. But then eventually I was like, when I tell my story, first of all, it's my story, so it's easy to tell. And depending on who I was talking to, I would tell the story different parts. Right. Like, as an example, if I talk to a real estate professional, right? I recruit a lot of realtors because I can talk about my mortgage story, my real estate story, where I was, only as good as my last month. Every month I started at zero, no residuals. I was, working evenings and weekends, and it was tough. But when I talk to someone with network marketing experience, I can talk about MLM PTSD, and I was the only one on my team making money. So it really is important. I love that you mentioned this. For all of us, I think, to write down some of the bullet points, if you will, as to why your company, why your product, because people relate to people. They don't relate to ingredients. They don't relate to percentages. They relate to your story. And, it's the old cliche, right? Facts tell, stories sell. But it really is the best way, because I know how many of us struggle with, like, what do I say? What do I post? What do I do? Like, it's always easiest to go back to stories, go back to lessons, experience, talking from a personal experience, or talking from a problem that you had or have. It's always going to be easier to connect with that network, that audience of people. So I think something that all of us need to get better at. And I know, Frazer, you're one of the best when it comes to telling stories. Like, for those of you that have never seen Frazer's like trainings on stage, online, he is one of the best storytellers. But you talked about this in the beginning of this conversation. It's hooking people in because they're going to go, me too. Yep, I can relate to that. Oh yeah, same page. And it really brings down that skepticism, because now you're just like them.
And it key with that as well is leaning in and saying, like, it's kind of like, you just did it before. It's kind of like, because you say blah, 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 blah. People are like, but it's kind of like dropping a metaphor, dropping an analogy, dropping something. Or like, is anyone else, like, it's not just me, right? Anyone else feel like that? And then you're like, oh, my people, like, blah, 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 like pulling people out. But you mentioned something as well. It's not, this is kind of a big mistake now. Obviously, we were aware of this. You and I have been around this a long time. People talk about what it is, the ingredients, how many squared foot office space. Like, no one cares that your headquarters is based in Phoenix, Arizona, and it has 72,000 square feet, and it's won 24 Stevie Awards. No one really cares about that, right? They don't care what it is. And to be honest with you, a lot of times we also talk about what it does, but the reality is we need to talk and focus on the outcome. We're selling the outcome. So, like, if we've got a health and wellness product and it's got 27 herbs and botanical, no one cares about 27 herbs and botanicals, right? Oh, it's got green tea leaf. It's got green leaf tea. What? I don't care. Right?
Extract,
extract, they extract whatever, right? It helps you lose weight. Helps you get energy. But the outcome is, like, what's life going to look like when your kid is running circles around you? And instead of you having to sit out in the corner and miss all the magical moments, you're chasing after the kid with more energy than the kid's got. So it's really understanding what are the pain. And this is not new, guys. This is like, it's talked about on stages all over the world, is you've got a product, great. You've got benefits of the product, great. But what are the outcomes that you can tell to different people? John just basically gave a masterclass on it when he was talking to, the mortgage people and all that. There's this outcome. Right, he's gone through that painful situation, and now this is the outcome. Or it's a mom who has this, like, oh God, if I only didn't have the 3 p.m. slumps, it would just, then that's the outcome you promote, instead of like, what? Oh, well, it's going to help you lose weight. Well, I've got the slumps. Well, the outcome is that the slumps ain't going to be there anymore. Obviously, can't make medical claims and blah 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 blah, depending on countries and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's kind of a big mistake. Don't talk about what it is. Talk about what it does, but definitely the outcome, because that people pay for results. It's and the outcome is the result.
One thing that we taught over the years is PSR. When you're coming up with a post, coming up with a story, problem, solution, result. And if you think about it, it's like, hey, here's this problem that a lot of people have and something I had. And then here's the solution that I found. And you could add some gratitude in there too. Like, oh, I'm so thankful for this person, or so thankful for Frazer Brookes, right? Thank God he was born. Because of him, I'm a multi-millionaire today, and I get to have total time freedom, because that's not an income claim at all. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. But yes, PSR, problem, solution, result. And if you can incorporate, I love what you said there about, like, the afternoon slump, the kids chasing them around. Like, imagine if you could incorporate, like, my 6-year-old literally said, "Mommy, how do you have so much energy now? You used to be so tired after work." Like, talk about pulling on the heartstrings there, and how many moms can relate to this, or parents in general. It's such a great example. And don't try to come up with stuff. Like, literally sit down, do a brain dump, and think about not just financial benefits, but what network marketing's done for you, the products, the personal development, the community, like really trying to find ways to storytell, because again, facts tell, stories sell, on social, one-on-one conversations, on your Zooms, your trainings. Always bring it back to stories, because it does get people to lean in, like you said, and pay attention. Now, can you talk about this $1,000 challenge that you have coming up? Because I absolutely love the concept of this. Like, everybody should do this. Number one, it's free $99. I think you have like an upgrade option, but technically free $99, right? And it would be good for everybody to do it, because it's like, so many of us, especially right before the biggest month of the year. Yo, November's the biggest month of the year for 95% of the companies out there. So if you were going to do this challenge, now would be the time. Can you talk about your $1,000 challenge, kind of what was behind it, coming up with it, and then what it's all about? I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different people in the marketing space. A lot of obviously leaders, top performers, but people who are like, they're recruiting a lot. But I'm really wanting to speak to the people who are having that, like, where's the decision of, oh my God, this is a real business and I need, like, because that's the new wave of people, right? That's how you're going to go to like $1 million months and whatever is by the people who are, 10, 20, 30 grand a month, having their people who have
one. Can you repeat that again? Speak that into existence again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mate, it's a fact, right?
$1 million per month. Let's go. That means you made a bigger impact. Exactly.
You know it. You're certain of that. So it's already happened, right? The volume's just catching up with it. So, right. So what we've established is that $1,000, yes, $300 a month is great. But when the partner comes to them and says, "Oh, how much have you made?" and they say $1,000, it's like, whoa, $1,000? Like $800, $500, $300 is like, okay. $1,000, you can do some damage with $1,000, right? You can have some serious fun with $1,000. Different parts of the world, 1,000 in Kazakhstan, where I built a big team. That's 5 months of income. That's like 5 months of income.
Wow.
So, right, $1,000. It's a great mark. It's a lot of money, no matter where you are in the world. So, and it's coming up to Christmas, right? And a lot of people are going to take their time. They're going to try and figure it all out. So I contacted 10 of my legendary friends. I would say that I think all of the 10 have made a lot of money. Let's just say that. They're definitely
we call it silly money. Silly money.
Yeah. Yeah. They can buy a lot of tacos every month. Let's just we'll say that, right? They can buy a lot of tacos every month. And basically just said, hey, if you were to start from scratch, you didn't have a team, how would you make $1,000 as fast as possible? And so it'll be me plus 2 of them every day for 5 days, with the idea that let's just go and get thousands of people who can make, because here's the thing, if you can make $1,000, you can teach someone how to make $1,000. And if you can teach someone to make $1,000, you can help them, like teach the man a fish kind of thing, right? Yeah. So you can teach them to make $1,000. There's a system, $1,000 challenge, $1,000 campaign. So the idea is,
Frazer, what's the link also?
They're gonna have to comment 1,000.
Okay, got it.
On your.
So yeah, we'll have my team will respond, but it starts next week, right?
It starts on Monday, the 16th of October till the 20th of October.
So basically between now and Sunday to not just register. I know some of you are gonna go, I'm in. It's like, okay, cool. Who's in with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Get your sidelines, get your uplines, get your downlines in with you between now and next Monday the 16th, correct?
Yeah. That's it. Absolutely. So it's going to be fun. 45-minute commitment a day. There or thereabouts. We kind of have, 1 day, 24 hours to do it. It's also, side note for everyone, it's not done at a certain time. As soon as you wake up, you will have the link in your email, and you can access that video until the countdown expires. Just so, because we know different time zones, we don't want people like having to Skype out work, although you should, and all that fun stuff. So it's going to be fun. Going to help a lot of people make a lot of money, and that's going to hopefully, it's definitely going to create the next wave.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to do it, this is the time to get buck wild. This is between now and November. If you want to make the November, actually, you know what? Scratch that. If you want to make your December a December to remember, you start running now in October to absolutely smash it, to get ready for November, because the monthly checks, we got daily pay in our business. Some of you probably have something similar, but the monthly checks are a bit silly money. Who wants silly money?
And you know what?
Lots of tacos.
And it's crazy as well, right? So the idea is that you make your first $1,000, then you make $1,000 in a month, then you do it in a week, then you do it in a day, and then you do it in an hour. It's kind of funny. But John, like, there's an equation. I love this, and you should do it as well, because the way that you make $1,000 is very fast now. Is the total amount of commission that you've earned in your business, not in your career, but in your business, divided by the number of people you've personally recruited, is how much each recruit is worth. It's very simple math. It's like, if you've made $1 million, I know you've made a lot more than that. If you made $1 million divided by 100 people, then each person is worth $10,000 to you. That's the numbers, right? So when people start thinking about it, it just takes a little bit of time to catch up. You're not going to get paid $10,000 by the company. Oh, here you go. Well done, John. You know, it doesn't work.
But future pacing. I love that.
Yeah,
so
stay
good.
in the game. Too many people quit before payday. They throw away the winning lottery ticket. So it's getting you the commissions now to then eventually realize, hang on a minute, I actually get paid more long term than the company gives me $100 bonus. Whoa, I'm getting $1,000. So of course I'm going to speak to more people. So it's just getting people the certainty of this actually works and the company is actually going to pay you and you are actually going to have that money in your bank account. And you're going to have proof that you can go to your company or your family, your friends and be like, flipping worked. Ah! So, yeah.
Well, and also let's point out like all the more reason to build a team, to build some leverage, to go out there and have those conversations. Because if you don't talk to the people, someone else is going to. That was like the ultimate game I used to play in my mind. I used to freak myself out. I don't know if you did this, but I would literally be like, oh, I gotta talk to this person. I was like, all these people, I'm like writing them down because I'm like, if I don't talk to them, someone else is going to get to them. And guess what? Even though I did that, I still had people that I missed. And I was like, dang it. I at the next meeting or they're getting recognized on stage at the event. And I'm like, I always say, clapping and crying. You're like,
yeah.
You're like, good for you. But you're like, that was my freaking neighbor. Or you go to ATM someone, for those of you that do ATM, right? Like you got to add someone to the group and you're like, they're already in, son of a gun. No! Someone else got them already.
I've missed the boat. Yeah. No, you are the boat.
FOMO.
Yeah,
Frazer, I appreciate you, man. You always, first of all, the value is always there, but you're always so much fun to have these conversations with. We're very much aligned in our beliefs. And, I know a lot of people have been impacted by you and your teachings. And I'm in your Telegram chats, like 11,000 freaking people from all these different companies, from all these different countries. I mean, it really is remarkable what you've created. And I know you're probably in the top 3 people in the world that have really impacted this profession in a big way. So it's always an honor to have you on the show. Always appreciate it. You willing to hop on and have this conversation. Like you never say no, which is probably part of the reason you make so much money, right?
Not to you.
Not to you.
I'm just trying to catch up with you and Nadia with the humor game, bro. Like if you guys have never seen John and Nadia speak in front of people on a stage or like in person, just make it one of your goals for 2023, 2024 to go and do it. Because oh my days. When they talk about enter training,
that's it.
Like done and done. And that's then done some more. So I appreciate you guys. Big love. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys somewhere around the world soon. I'm not too sure where it'll be, but we always end up in some random place.
No doubt. Sure. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Y'all, drop $1,000 if you want the deets on the $1,000 challenge. Starts next Monday. Tell your peeps. And we'll edit the description as well to get that in the description as well afterwards. Cool? All right, y'all. Frazer, thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, mate. Appreciate you.